the mainstream gaming media is on life support, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon when all they try to do is put out rage bait articles to make a few dollars, and DualShockers has recently gotten annihilated by gamers for saying that characters in Final Fantasy like Barret are just comic relief. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, of course, because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth only came out recently, a lot of people are still talking about the game and what it has to offer, and as you can see, it was pretty universally acclaimed, a 92 critic, a 9 user score. It was a really good experience. Now, of course, I know that there were plenty of people who really could not get into it because of the, multi-timeline story that they decided to go with, and a lot of the changes that they made from the original. They just decided to go, in a lot of cases, in a new direction, but when it came to the characters, in my opinion, they did an amazing job fleshing out characters who either deserved more or we originally did not get a lot of backstory on, and now we just have a lot more depth to them, which is fantastic. But DualShockers decided to put up this article titled, "I'd love a black Final Fantasy character that isn't just comic relief," and one of the main examples they use is, of course, Barret, and they do reference Saz, but this has infuriated gamers, because when you say that Final Fantasy has not had a black character that isn't just comic relief, you have insulted millions of people who have absolutely loved Barret. Barret is an amazing character, and in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, they fleshed his character out so much. If you saw anything but an amazing father, a devoted father, a passionate freedom fighter, and an overall very well-rounded character, you clearly didn't play the game or were not paying attention. So, it says, representation matters in Final Fantasy, with characters like Barret providing complexity and depth beyond stereotypes. Barret, yes, is a tall, muscular, vulgar man, but he is so much more than that. He is a man who raised his friend's daughter so she could have a good life. He, again, is a passionate freedom fighter. He's the devoted father. He is an amazing character. He is not just a walking stereotype. And it says both of these characters, while initially serving as comic relief, evolve into father figures with emotional depth and impactful storylines. So they don't go very hard against these characters, but clearly from the headline, you can see how they actually feel about these characters. No, I completely disagree. Neither of these characters initially serve as comic relief. Yes, they have funny moments within the games, like Barret does make a lot of jokes, he does a lot of funny things unintentionally, but that doesn't mean that he is comic relief. And it says it's time for Final Fantasy to introduce a new type of black protagonist, one who defies stereotypical portrayals. This author completely misses the point. This hack journalist, who really is an activist, completely does not understand Final Fantasy. And if you want a certain type of character in entertainment, then you should go and make a new story. It's as simple as that. He is trying to inject what he wants into other people's work, so why not just go make it himself? If he doesn't like Final Fantasy and he doesn't like these characters, then you have the world at your fingertips. You have a computer, you have Google Docs, you can get a team together and create a development company or make a game or write a book. You have these things at your disposal, but instead you decide to absolutely trash characters that are amazing. This, of course, all comes down to wanting to see himself in this video game, but there doesn't need to be a certain type of anything in anything. There does not need to be a new black, male character who defies these stereotypes in a Final Fantasy game, because Final Fantasy does have diversity, Final Fantasy does have inclusivity, and it just proves that you can never please these people. No matter what, they will find something to complain about. The way, he talks, the way he dresses, everything with a character like Barret will be nitpicked until all there is left is his skin color, which is really all activists like this care about, not a unique character with lots of depth, they would rather have a hollow character that fits their checkboxes, which is how most game developers work these days now anyway. They also go on to whine about how they want a new type of black protagonist, saying this shift can be achieved in various ways, but I'd love to see a black character who is more introverted and quiet. Stereotypically, society has often perceived black individuals such as myself as loud and aggressive. Both these characters stand out as some of the most animated and outspoken characters in their respective games. You don't need to see a character that physically represents you to connect with them. And if you want an introverted and quiet character, go and look at an amazing character like Aerith in Final Fantasy VII. She is introverted, she is very, very quiet at times, and she is another great character. I don't know why there is this push for needing to see a character that physically represents you in order to connect with them. You're supposed to want to connect with a character because they're courageous, they're brave, they're passionate, all these things that you also could be on an emotional level. That is how you should be connecting with a character. And yeah, sure, you can have more black characters in video games, that's fine, but do not disregard the ones that already exist because they don't quite represent you, because you don't think that they, fit into this bubble that you could also fit into. It's extremely narcissistic behavior, and because of this article, they actually got annihilated on social media. Now, hilariously enough, they actually deleted the tweet, but of course, all of the responses to this tweet still exist. They are all still on X. If you just type in DualShockers, they all pop up. People saying, how about you make your own game then? If there's a gap in the market, fill it. The money is sitting on the table, right? It's so true. If you think that there is like this magic character or story that is missing from this entertainment sphere, go and create them yourself and prove everybody wrong and say, yeah, you know what? I did that. I created this character in this story, and I told you that other people would like it. If you think Barret, a freedom fighter and a father, is just comic relief, maybe you're the racist. People saying things like, have you ever played a Final Fantasy game in your life? Honestly, have you ever watched Advent Children? The man loses his arm trying to save his friend's life. The man raises his friend's daughter so she can have a good life. He's not a laughingstock. Go play the game, damn it. It's so true. I never once thought that Barret was a laughingstock. Yeah, again, he had comedic moments, but every single character, even a character as serious as Cloud or even Sephiroth, have comedic moments where you just chuckle a little bit because of the things they do or the things they say. Jesus Christ, not at one point did I go, man, I wish Barret and his big-ass gun wasn't comic relief. I guess bills are due, GG. It's just so exhausting to see this happen time and time again. First, they want inclusivity and representation, which should be fine, but then it's not the right type of representation, and then they want more, and then they are imposing the ideas that they have for a story and a character onto other people's work, thinking that they know better than the creatives themselves. It's just such a pathetic situation. Of course, DualShockers did delete their initial tweet, which is hilarious, and it will be interesting to see if they try to write any other articles attacking characters like Barret in the future. I don't think they will, but of course the media is desperate to stay relevant. They are grasping at straws here. And so they're putting out these articles that they know the headlines will get clicks, but then they cannot even take the heat of it. And they end up deleting their threads and trying to wipe all knowledge of it except for the actual post on their website that's monetized. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.